Welcome to Mogul Mentality, the podcast where we explore the intersection of mindset and business. Join us as we delve into the minds of successful entrepreneurs, thought leaders, uncovering the habits, strategies, and mindsets that have allowed them to achieve greatness. Whether you're a seasoned business owner or just starting out, our conversations will inspire you to think big, take action, and cultivate the mindset of a mogul. So sit back, relax, and get ready to elevate your thinking with Mogul Mentality. Welcome to the Mogul Mentality podcast. My name is Jesse. I am flying solo today, and it seems like for those that have listened, we've been doing that a lot lately. Let me explain why. When you listen to this particular episode, I will be 2 days back from a cruise, and usually Wednesdays are the days that we record. The days we release, we record, and in this case, because I want to come home from my cruise, just flow in and just start my week and pick it up, I'm recording this extra episode so that it aligns and everything's great. So with that being said, I hope that Devin's having a fantastic week. I know he wants to be here with you, and we're going to be right back with you next week. I guarantee it. With today's episode, I want to talk about stress and rejection and feeling inadequate sometimes. My wife and I are watching this show. We've got the VidAngel filter because we just hate the garbage and the sexuality. But we're watching this show called Billions. And in this particular show, this guy is standing there with a counselor. There's a counselor in this office of a bunch of stock traders, world-class, hedge fund managers. And she is trying to bring his confidence back. He had suffered a few losses in his portfolio. He's stressing out, and there's all this, in essence, rejection, and he's feeling it, right? It's starting to crumble, that very being of who he is. And in this particular scene, the counselor is helping this person regain his confidence and get back into the game. And it just kind of made me laugh, and I did some research on this particular topic and found that there are a lot of entrepreneurs, and maybe you're one of them, that has the fear or the sting of rejection in your business. And you and I both know that although it's real, we got to find a way to get through it. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that helped me. For me personally, I hated rejection. It reminded me of times when I was a child, right? When I gotta say 9 or 10 years old, I felt like I was one of the best basketball players on my team. And long story short, I got cut from this competitive team in a very deceitful way that I recall, right? And looking at it now, it's just a little different, but I got cut from this team and I was rejected. And that was the first moment I can go back in time and realize what rejection was like. Then fast forward to when I was 12 years old on my 12th birthday, my dad got pulled out of the house in handcuffs. And that was one of the last times we saw my mom and my dad together in the same room, really. And that was rejection. And then fast forward to being rejected by certain people at school and friends, and rejection sucks. We all experience it. No one likes it. And so as we're talking about this today, I want to share with you some of the things that I've learned to help me cope, and I hope that these things help you as well. In theory, though, this rejection, if you do not really start to tackle it and understand why you feel this way and why it hurts, it will hurt your business because you're leaving a lot on the table. If you're listening to this show, it's because you're a successful business owner or you're striving to become more successful. But guess what? Anytime you've experienced new success, it has brought new challenges. It's time for a change. Check out the Business Liberation System. It's the key to regaining focus and working on your business, not just in it. You see, as you experience more and more success, that success is bringing new things into your business that's taking away from your concentration, and it's costing you money. You're slowly going from CEO back to an employee, and don't let that catch you. It's time for you to recognize these things and get back on the track of becoming the CEO of your business so that you can work on it. Go to theemergecoaching.com and get on the fast track by joining the Business Liberation System. To get there even faster, click on the show notes and it will take you right to where you need to be. Success should bring freedom, not frustration. Let's get back to the episode. So let's fast forward, right? Here I am, 25 years old in my real estate business, and a next door neighbor ended up on a mailer list. He calls and cusses me out, yells at me, and that kind of took away my mojo, right? Because I made someone mad, and I didn't want to make people mad. I want to be a people pleaser, and I wanted everyone just to like me. And ultimately, here's the deal. After sitting back and analyzing my entire life from childhood to now, what I've realized is that certain people react based off of their filters and based off of the things that they were taught, right? They may not even know better. I want you to think about it for a moment. A salesperson knocks on your door and you open the door. What's your reaction? And now everyone listening to the show is going to have a different reaction, right? But what is your reaction? Do you hear them out? Do you curse them out? Do you shut the door? Do you not even answer it? Pretend like you're not there? Do you feel a sense of guilt? Do you want to punch this person in the face? Like, what are your filters, right? And understanding that these filters here are the way they grew up too, right? I don't like rejection. So if someone rejects me, then I'm down on myself and I'm looking at it going, why do people hate me? I'm such a nice, likable guy. And I take it personally because the times that I was rejected, it was personal. It was really deep, right? And so, of course, naturally, my filters are you do not want to be rejected. But I had to start and understand a few things. Number one, I had to understand why I felt this way, and understanding that just because someone tells me no doesn't mean it's not a personal attack to me. It never has been, right? But in my mind, my instant response, that first primary emotion was hurt because I took it personal, right? But I have to look at it and say my parents separating on my 12th birthday, the only thing that was in that situation that involved me was the fact that I perceived my 12th birthday to be a wonderful day. And so when my parents separated at that time, on that date, I associated that they were hurting me because this was my special day, right? But realistically, it had nothing to do with it. It could have been the day after. It could have been any other day. And it was never about me. It was because of two people that could not get along because one of them had a drug issue and the other one would not support the drug issue. And so that's what caused that rejection, that fear for me. But understanding that and going back and looking at it and saying, what was I supposed to learn from this? Like, there's so many different things I could learn from this moment. And instead of allowing my filters to overtake when I get rejected, what am I supposed to learn through this rejection? I have to learn that just like my filters and the way I perceive it, my parents were not perceiving it that way. They were perceiving it as part of their filters. My mom was trying to get us in a safer environment. My dad was trying to numb the pain from his childhood and the physical and potentially sexual abuse that he had. So he's trying to numb his pain while my mom's trying to protect us. And everyone has these different filters of what's actually going on based off of how we were raised. And so when I understood this and I could take a step back, when I was knocking on a door or when I was making a phone call and someone reacted and started telling me no, 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 what I found was it was because it was their filters, their primary response. This is not the real them. This is just how their mind has been trained, almost like a computer program to run every single day. Someone calls, they hang up. Someone knocks on their door, they curse you out. And it's because it's a habitual habit that they consistently run. And so what did I need to do to get better? I needed to learn how to pierce and ask the question. That's what I needed to do. I needed to break through those unconscious filters. So, here's an example from my mission. Like, I served a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I faced a lot of rejection. I hated knocking doors like any other missionary generally does, because the rejection is just, it's the least productive thing. However, it's that last ditch effort of I need to do something, right? Well, a great example of this is one time I just had enough. I had enough of people slamming the door in my face. And so I kicked my foot in between the door and the jamb, and I wouldn't let the person of their own house close their door, and interrupted their emotional response for just a moment and got through that primary emotion to the holy crap, this person just said no. Like, now what? And I had a conversation. There was also another situation where someone slammed the door and I yelled through the door to them to get my message across, which also changed their neurology, because they're like, holy crap, wait, there's someone speaking here, to the point where this person opened the door and apologized. I didn't know what came over me. I just kind of shut the door. I'm sorry. But, that is disrespectful. Like, I want you to think about it for just a moment. Everyone has a primary response. When I say ice bath or go jump in cold water, that primary response is absolutely not. For most people. For some, they're like, yeah, let's do it. Why? Why is it that way? It's because you deeply love it. There's a feeling, an emotional attachment there. And so understanding the rejection, right? They're not rejecting me. They are in a habit loop right now of just saying no. You could be the nicest person in the world, but you're labeled as a salesperson right now. You're calling them or you're knocking on their door. Doesn't matter. It's a habit. They reject you. Just like the Jews rejected Jesus. And those that actually paid attention started to convert and say, no, this person's the real deal. Like, this is the person we're waiting for. But a lot of us are stuck in these habits. So understanding that type of rejection in business and understanding that they're not rejecting you, they're in a habit of just saying no. So then how do you get creative? Understanding that, because here's the deal. You're in a habit of your sales pitch. 9 times out of 10. It's the same thing over and over. Oh, they're probably going to say no. You're in the habit of believing they're going to say no. And you're not doing anything about it to fix the problem, to actually create a different environment. So let's look at this for just a moment. You knock on the door, you hit your script that you've memorized 1,000 times. You're in a habit, they're in a habit of rejecting people with scripts that are showing up on their door, so you're not getting sales. Now let's actually flip the script for just a minute and say you go off the cuff. Right? Hey, I'm sorry. I'm out here knocking doors for pest control. I don't mean to bother you, but I'm curious if you could help me get a glass of water. It's hot out here. Now, all of a sudden, it goes from a actual conversation of pest controls, them slamming the door, to now you're getting their attention because you've interrupted their unconscious patterns, their unconscious behaviors. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work for everyone. Some people may still slam the door because they're like, no, that's, you're just trying to be shady or whatever. But that's another emotion, a deeper emotion that it's up to you to uncover. So let's say for a second they bring you some water. Oh, yeah, man, I've been out here for 8 hours. I am so grateful. Can you believe that there are people that actually would slam their door and all I'm asking for is a water? I can get it. I'm trying to sell pest control and explain to them why their house absolutely needs it. But right now, I just need some water. That's a totally different unconscious, it's an unconscious pattern interrupter. Instead of oh, this person's actually nice and having it. There's that guy that floats around selling chemicals that rhymes, right? That just throws you for a loop and you're just mesmerized by it because this dude is speaking differently than most salespeople. I want you to think about it. The rejection continually happens over and over and over again because you're not doing anything to pierce the unconscious mind, to unlock and bring them from an unconscious behavior to a conscious. You're not doing anything about it. And so understanding the filters helped me a ton. I'm showing someone a house. They're like, oh, this house is too expensive. And instead of agreeing with them or just taking offense, I say, what makes you think that? And challenge them a little bit. I'm curious, what is not expensive? And understanding, I want you to think about this for a moment. I was having a conversation with someone about a house, about a mortgage payment, and they said, "Oh, this mortgage is too expensive." And I said, "Okay, I get that, but I'm curious, like, what are you comparing your mortgage payment to?" And they're like, the first thing that comes to my mind is the babysitter I just spent money on. I'm like, "How much did you spend on your babysitter?" They're like, $40. And I'm like, yeah, no wonder this mortgage is expensive, because the last thing you paid for was $40. This mortgage is $3,000. Of course that's expensive. And we kind of had a chuckle and laugh for a moment, because it was like, what a dumb, behavior. But that was their filter. Their filter was trained to like go to the last thing that they bought and say, "Oh, this is expensive," and compare. You guys, I can't hit this enough. In this episode, you may be going like, what's he getting to? Like, I came here to learn how to overcome rejection and not feel fear of being rejected. But like, let me explain to you so much right now the importance of understanding people's filters and understanding and being aware that there are filters, and it's up to you to break through those by asking questions that pierce the conscious mind, that awakes the conscious mind and gets through the unconscious behavior, right? Like, I want you to think about it for just a moment. Here's a great example. What foot do you put the most pressure on when you first get out of bed? Does your right foot hit the ground first, or does your left foot? When's the last time you brushed with your left hand? When's the last time you showered and then used the restroom? These are questions right now that are getting you to think, because unconsciously you have your routine every single morning and you just do it. Now I'm actually causing you to think and to be engaged in the conversation. When you bypass the filters and the unconscious behaviors and ask better questions, you start to see less and less rejection, and people start to go, "Wow, it's like you know me." Like, I love this stuff. When someone comes and asks me about buying a house, I get so many people that come and say, "Help me find a house." It's like, great, what do you want? What are you looking for? I'm happy to help you, right? That was the natural response. But now my questions are more like, why do you want a house? Why do you want me? Like, I'm curious, why a house now versus all the other times? And why are you calling me out of all the people you know? Why me? Asking some questions. Or another good one, what problem are you trying to solve by buying this house? What's the issue? Why? Like, to be honest with you, and we'll use the name Joe, right? As an example, if I'm role playing here, Joe, to be honest with you, people usually call me because they're going through a death, a divorce, or a delivery where they're expecting another child. And in some very, very odd cases, a relocation. So help me understand here. What's the reason why you want to buy a house? Is it one of those four? And now all of a sudden, like, I'm getting to the real root, the real cause, the pain. I'm trying to understand them. Instead of the unconscious behavior of, yeah, tell me what you'd like, I'm getting to the actual root of the issue. Because people buy things based off of a need. They need fulfillment for a certain thing. People that come through my coaching, business owners, they have this need to be free from their business, to have more money, more time, more fun. That is the message. And so when they call, it's like, hey, which one are you lacking? Are you lacking the more money part? Are you lacking the more fun in your life? Or do you just feel like you don't have any time? What is it? Oh, I just don't feel like I have time. Oh, is it because you feel like you're a slave to your business? Yes, that's all I ever do is work. I want to spend more time with my family. Bingo. The rejection is no longer, hey, I sell this coaching product and it helps people have more time, more money, more fun. And I think you'd be a really good benefit for this. Can I tell you more about it? Like, it doesn't work that way. We have to get through the unconscious behaviors. One of the best ways I do this through drip campaigns is through a meme. I send a meme that is very like, hey, it's a SpongeBob meme, and it goes out and it's like, when you look at your friends who listen to you and you were right And it's like this kind of proud SpongeBob moment meme thing. And I send that meme out to 2,300 people in my CRM. And the response rate is darn near 76% because of a meme that interrupts their unconscious. What are you talking about? Who is this? Like, wait, what? Because I was bold enough to tell them I was right, sending them a meme that interrupts the unconscious pattern, actually leading them to believe that maybe for just a moment, I actually know what I'm talking about. But I'm interrupting the unconscious behaviors and overcoming the rejection. Like this may sound, I'm not going to assume for you, but this may sound crazy. And you may be like, Jesse, this, doesn't make any sense. This goes against all the sales trainings I've ever been in. But like, I want you to just visualize for a moment, your best sell was probably when you first started, if you were in a sales role and it was just easy and you uncovered the pain and you were a little naive and they said yes and you got excited. That was one of the best sells and the best moments of your career. Devin and I just closed on a $100,000 deal in 6 weeks. We did it in a little less than about 4 hours of work. $100,000. A little bit more than that, but we're going to round to the nearest six figure here. And I just want to let you know that it was overcoming the filters that got that deal. It was overcoming it, getting them to believe that it's possible. And then when we went to sell the deal on the other end of it, it was once again helping people believe the possibilities that it was true for them, providing them the numbers and the actual statistics from real individuals as opposed to just the unconscious email blast in this particular business. I cannot stress out enough the importance of understanding filters. Every single person has filters. And it's based off an emotional experience or event that is out of what they see, they hear, they feel, they smell, or they taste. If I say tuna, you either love it or you hate it. Why? Because there was something there with tuna. Maybe a taste. Maybe it's an experience. Maybe a giant fish landed on you and you hate fish now. I can tell you from my experience, I hate fish and everything to do with fish because I put my finger into the mouth of a fish when I was little to unhook it, and the hook went through my thumb. I hate fish ever since because that hurt. I was scared. I had an emotion of fear. I felt fear. I was hurting. I felt pain. I saw blood. I smelt the nasty of the fish. Like, I can go back to that moment. I think I was wearing a purple life jacket to be actually specific with you. Filters, you guys. Understanding the filters. Overcoming, asking the right questions. Every word someone is saying is defining how they feel internally. It's not describing, it's defining. There's something deeply rooted there. When someone says, I don't like fish, why? What event happened that caused you not to like fish? There's got to be a great story here that pulls people out of that unconscious into a conscious mind going, oh yeah, well, what was that story? Oh yeah, this. And then it allows you to relate more. We as human beings are automating every single day. Automate. My business is automated, but how do I still keep that personal touch, that Disney experience in my business to create less rejection? People only reject you because you're not being different than anyone else. They're not rejecting your product because they're telling you exactly what they need and you know your product's a match, but they're rejecting you because you're not getting to the conscious mind. You continue to ask the same behavioral questions that instigate an unconscious behavior. A simple no. What brings you in today? Most salespeople ask that. Just looking. Common answer. Don't bug me. But there's a reason why you've walked into that store. You're not just looking. There's something there you're trying to identify and learn and understand. And if you get that thing that you're there looking for, you will buy it. But you don't want someone telling you that. Because 9 times out of 10, it's the same thing. It's the commission breath. It's the people that aren't paying attention. They're just there to do their job with some cheap, poor training. Because they're actually not getting to the next level. And this is things that, like, through my businesses, I'm trying to teach employees. Through my conversation with people, I'm trying to have deeper conversations. I'm trying to pay more attention to what they're saying and less attention to what I'm going to say next, because I don't need to say anything to make that connection and break through to the conscious level. All I need to do is just listen to what they say, and they're inviting me to break through the conscious. Our words are inviting people to break through to our conscious minds to have a deeper, meaningful conversation. That's what we all need. We all want companionship. So, kind of an interesting episode, right? Going through and talking about the filters and really honing in on that. But I promise you that you will overcome rejection so much easier when you start paying more attention to the words they're saying and asking the right questions. There will be less rejection. I promise you. Stop focusing on the sell. Stop focusing on sharing everything. Start focusing on the words that they're using to uncover their pain, why they're actually using 5 minutes of their time to talk to you on the phone. Why did they call your business? Why are they still standing there in front of you, giving you the time of day to sell them something on a door? Let's pay closer attention to that. Thank you so much for listening to the Mogul Mentality podcast. I hope you have a fantastic day. Look forward to chatting with you one more time before Christmas. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you for listening to the Mogul Mentality podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring. If you enjoyed the show, please consider sharing it with your friends and leaving us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and create more content that can help you on your journey to becoming a successful entrepreneur. We appreciate your feedback and suggestions for future topics, so don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media or via email. Remember, developing a mogul mentality takes hard work and dedication, but with the right mindset and strategies, anything is possible. So keep grinding, stay focused, and we'll see you on the next episode.